The Rothschild family is one of the most enigmatic and wealthiest families in the world. For 300 years, they have maintained their position as the world's first wealthiest family. What makes them always stay on the top? In today's video, I will reveal their top secret to everyone. But before that, let's take a look at how this family suddenly became the world's wealthiest. The story began in the 18th century, a time when anti-Semitism was widespread. As a result, Jews were not only rejected by their own country, but also rejected all over the world, leading to many of them being homeless. At that time, laws stipulated that Jews could not own land and were heavily taxed. This led to Jews living in slums in various countries in Europe. The origin of the Rothschild family is rooted in the Jewish ghetto in Frankfurt, Germany. They were just an ordinary family in that area. Due to the low status of Jews at that time, many of them did not even have a surname. The Rothschild surname is one that they gave themselves, as there was a red shield on their door. In Germany, red shield is pronounced as Rothschild, which is the origin of their surname. During that period of time, their house was only 300 square feet, and a big family of more than 20 people lived there. And then in 1744, a person was born in this family who could completely change the fate of the Rothschild family. This person was Mayer Amschel Rothschild. Mayer understood from a young age that as a Jew, he could not engage in legitimate professions and could not own land, and the government also collected heavy taxes from him. If he wanted to turn things around, there was only one way out, which was through business. In that era, merchants had a very low social status, so competition was low as well. With a natural business sense, Mayer's business path was relatively smooth. He initially engaged in currency-related businesses. At that time, Europe was made up of small countries, each with its own currency. Each country's coins were very distinctive, so many people liked to collect the currencies of different countries, so they needed to find Mayer to exchange them. These coin collectors included some powerful people, and Mayer met Crown Prince Willem of Hesse in this process. Willem was 1 year older than Mayer, and their relationship became increasingly better in the course of the transaction. Willem thought Mayer was very professional, and Mayer also tried his best to please Willem because he wanted to make Willem his ally. Later on, Mayer became Willem's official financial advisor. In 1785, when Willem's father passed away, Prince Willem inherited his father's lordly position and received a huge inheritance. Because the relationship established before, Willem trusted Mayer so much and gave him all the money to manage. Mayer did not disappoint him and began to invest using those money, mainly in high-interest loans. War was constantly breaking out in Europe at the time, and countries would frequently go to war with one another. Also, wars cost a lot of money, and Mayer would lend money to various countries, earning high profits from it. At the same time, in order to find high-quality clients, Mayer decided to expand his business worldwide. In 1804, Mayer decided to leave his eldest son in Frankfurt to run the business there, while sending his second son to Vienna, the third son to London, England, the fourth son to Naples, Italy, and the fifth son to Paris, France. Mayer passed away in 1812. Mayer's move was very visionary, as in that era, his 5 sons formed a powerful network in the world's 5 major commercial centers, and his ultimate goal was to establish relationships with local governments and open up a path of wealth. In that era, the transfer of funds between countries was easily lost in the course of carriage. During war, it was intercepted by the enemy, and in peace, it was stolen by thieves. The 5 brothers' branches around the world avoided this risk. For example, when the eldest brother transferred money to the second brother, he only needed a handwritten letter, and then each recorded the debt in their own account book, which saved them the risk of using their lives in transportation. During war, many countries had the need for fund transfer. Who would do it? Only the Rothschild family could do it. The stateless Jews filled this gap, because in the eyes of Jews, money is not divided by borders, and gradually many countries naturally used the Rothschilds' transfer system. Although their fees were not low, they were very creditworthy. Credit is very magical. Once you establish it, Business will flow in, just as Mayer expected. By the time Mayer passed away, the Rothschild family was considered wealthy and powerful. However, an event later on propelled them to become the wealthiest family in the world. Nathan Rothschild, Mayer's third son, was sent to London by his father to develop a branch of the family business. He initially dealt in cotton and was highly successful, before transitioning to investing in securities. Nathan's reputation in the security industry grew rapidly, and he became a well-known figure. In 1815, the Battle of Waterloo took place, pitting France against an alliance led by Britain. As the war raged on, wealthy individuals and capitalists in Britain invested in government bonds as a means of supporting their country and seeing potential returns if Britain emerged victorious. However, there was also the risk of these bonds becoming worthless if Britain lost. As news of the battle reached home, the Rothschild family, who held a significant amount of these bonds, closely monitored the situation. There were no phones in that era, so the news from the battlefield had to be sent back to the country through carrier pigeons or by human power, so there was still a latency. Nathan, sensing an opportunity, began selling off these bonds in large quantities. This caused unease among other bondholders as they began to suspect that Nathan had inside information of an impending British defeat. This led to others following suit and selling their bonds, causing a panic in the market. Just a few hours later, the face value of British government bonds was only 5%. Nathan, seeing the opportunity in the chaos, quickly brought up as many bonds as he could. When news of a British victory reached, the value of these bonds skyrocketed, while those who had sold them suffered huge losses. Nathan's personal assets increased 2,500 times. Later, the Rothschild family continued to do the same thing throughout Europe. At that time, European countries were constantly fighting, and he constantly participated in the buying and selling of these government bonds. So many people said that the Rothschild family actually made a lot of war profits, so the Rothschild family earned this money in the Battle of Waterloo and directly entered the Bank of England, becoming the largest shareholder of the Central Bank of England. At that time, Britain was the most powerful country in the world, which means that the Rothschilds controlled the currency issuance of the most powerful country in the world. Later on, when Britain established the United States in America, the Rothschilds established the Federal Reserve, which is now the issuing institution of the US dollar. The Federal Reserve of the United States is currently controlled by three major families: the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the Morgans. The Morgans, Rockefellers, and the Carnegie family of steel tycoons in the U.S. were all nurtured by the Rothschilds. Therefore, the current control of the U.S. may also be in the hands of the Rothschilds. The reason why they are so interested in controlling a country's monetary policy is because the Rothschild family has an old saying, which comes from Mayer Rothschild, stating that if they have control over a country's monetary policy and management, then it does not matter who makes the laws. Becoming rich overnight is not too difficult, but the Rothschild family has maintained the status of the world's wealthiest family throughout its 300-year history. So how did they achieve it? Next, I'll reveal the secret to you. If you like success stories, please subscribe, smash a like, and make sure to turn on the notification so you won't miss any new videos. In order to maintain the purity of their bloodline, the Rothschild family has always maintained the tradition of close kin marriage over the past few hundred years. As we all know, close kin marriage has a 1/3 chance of having offspring with intellectual disabilities, but also a 1/3 chance of giving birth to geniuses. And these born geniuses have all inherited the Rothschild family's excellent business genes 100%. This is the secret to the Rothschild family's longevity for hundreds of years. There is also one person I want to mention here. Her name is Guttel Schnapper. She was the wife of Mayer Rothschild and a housewife. Although she did not contribute to the family business at all, she knows her husband well, she knows her sons well, and she knows the Rothschild family well. The reason I want to mention her is because she ever said one sentence: "If my sons do not want wars to happen, then there will be no war in this world." The more you think about this, the more you get scared of it. So here is a question for you. Is making more profits a right or an immoral thing? Please leave a comment. I will see you in the next video.